go. Everybody watching.
Here we are, UAE versus Mongolia in the next women's pool matchup. This should be an interesting clash here with the Mongolia women's team lining up in their very first Asia Rugby Sevens trophy against the UAE team, who are a little bit more experienced. UAE to kick off, running from right to left of your screen. And we're off. Knock back there, says the referee from Mongolia. They take it into the first ruck. Let's see what they can do with first use of the ball. That's gone way back. Mongolia with a lot to do here, deep in their own 22. Good line defense here from the UAE. Ooh, that's a big tackle there from the UAE number 8 there, Tara Kudi. And it's a penalty to Mongolia, not clearing out there from UAE. Mongolia again with a chance to use the ball. They're in their 22, but they've knocked on. UAE have taken the ball, but the referee has called it back. And it seems like a double knock on. And the scrum feed to Mongolia. Interesting call. The Mongolian women's team in red and the UAE in their colourful white, red, green, black jerseys. And that ball goes backwards there. Dangerous here for Mongolia, but she puts in a kick. It only goes as far as 25 metres out. UAE now a chance to come on the attack. They're 40 metres out. UAE on the attack. One man overlap on the right-hand side. It's their number 12, Catherine McClay, and it's been called back again. It's a forward pass. Forward pass called by the referee. And this scrum will go to a Mongolia feed.
Scrum, sit in the saddle. Scrum.
The ref wants it up again, giving some last minute instructions. Mongolia with the feed, Mongolia with the win, but UAE with strong defense there.
Yes.
Penalty to Mongolia. Quick tap and run, tap and go. Off the ground there. This is risky stuff from Mongolia.
Offside.
The UAE called offside there. Not back their 10. Mongolia then on the attack again from their 40. UAE with the steal from that ruck. Big run here from the UAE. Setting up. She looks on the blind side. Nobody was there. Can she go all the way? That's number 9. That's Alex Cook for UAE. That's great vision. And she goes in for the first try of the game to Mongolia. Huge blind side. No one was home. And Cook takes it all the way in. It's been a very tight first half here in the opening minutes. Conversion to come. It is successful. Takes the lead out for the UAE, 7, Mongolia 0. We have an injured Mongolian player here being assisted from the field. Let's hope she's okay and nothing serious. UAE then to get us restarted after their first try of the game. Mongolia let it bounce, but they take it safely. They're on their 22. That's a big pass, but they let it bounce again. Scrambling now. The ball's on the ground. UAE have won it. What can they do now on the attack? 22 meters out. Not rolling away there, the Mongolian defense. Penalty to UAE. Quick tap there from their big number 8. Tara Cooney setting it up is UAE. Referee calling timeout, and it's a yellow card for that Mongolian player.
I gave you the
I think that's for a professional foul. UAE now, 5 meters away. Oh, it's the big number 8. It's Tara Cooney right underneath the post. On the back of 2 consecutive penalties there against Mongolia, with one of their players being sent to the sin bin, UAE capitalized with a try to Cooney. And number 9, Alex Cook, converts the try. Number 8, try scorer. The conversion was good. And we're off again. It's a nice high kick from UAE. They've got tall players. And the assistant referee says it went out to touch. But that's a good ploy from UAE. They know they have the advantage of the taller players. So they're going to kick it up as high as possible in these restarts. Mongolia with the line out. And they win it. Nice line out there from Mongolia. What can they do? Deep in their own 22. That's a good run. But are they out of danger yet? Great hit there from UAE. Good solid defense. Some more defense there from UAE. And they've knocked the ball on over the try line. And the referee calls halftime between UAE and Mongolia. The score is UAE 14, Mongolia 0.
You can go? Yeah. Then come back, okay?
ready for the second half between UAE and Mongolia. UAE leading 14-0 in a very, what seemed to be a very tight-fought first half, but the UAE capitalizing off some mistakes from Mongolia.
These are already completed.
Mongolia to get us started in the second half, running from right to left of your screen. And we're underway in the second half, and that was knocked backwards, says the referee. UAE with a chance here down the blind side. It's a good run from the UAE, running past the commentary box. It's number 6, it's Hannah Underhill. Hannah Underhill, can she go all the way? Gallant effort there from the number 4 of Mongolia, but Underhill is under the post. Great solo try there from Hannah Underhill. That takes the score out to UAE 19, Mongolia 0.
Kazakhstan is here. Mongolia, mana Mongolia.
Kick to come here for UAE to take the lead out further. The kick is not successful, conversion not successful.
Right, the Mongolians.
The score remains 19-0, and this was a great run from Underhill, taking on the defense, using the sideline, then coming back in, making sure she's safe, and running away with the try. And we're underway again. Knockback, says the referee. Another handling error there from Mongolia, sees UAE with the ball. It's play on, says the referee. UAE come up with the ball. What can they do? They're 22 meters out from the try line.
So you take the kick, and so he kick off to this.
Bit of a stop and start there from UAE. She does a bit of a goose step there. Number 9, that's Alex Cook. And Alex Cook is in for another try
Red.
for the UAE.
No, blue. This color. Also.
Kazakhstan same.
Light blue.
So no problem. Okay.
Where's the player? Where's the player? Send her on.
The score is now UAE 24.
11.
With a kick to come. And that is not successful. The score remains UAE 24, Mongolia 0. UAE to get us started again. A nice deep kick, a nice high kick. Mongolia take it well. They're right on their 22. What can they do from here? That's a penalty to Mongolia. High tackle, high shot there from UAE. Mongolia are at the wrong end of the field here if they want to score. They've got 80 meters to travel, but they seem to be stuck in their own 22. It's great defense from the UAE. They're still in their 22. Strong defense from UAE. Again, taken well in a strong tackle. And it's another penalty for Mongolia. Mongolia then trying to use the ball, spreading it out wide to the right. It's Mongolia now. Great cover defense there from the big number 8. Great tackle from Tara Cooney. Substitution here, I think, for UAE. Yes, it is. Number 14 is on. Mahra Enkelia.
Completed. Let's go, Rob.
This will be a UAE line out. Mongolia now, the best opportunity so far for them. The ball's gone back another 10 metres, but it's been stolen by UAE. They're very strong in defence, and now they're turning defence into attack. Good cover defence there from Mongolia. UAE now. Taking it into the 22. She's gone straight through. Saw the big gap and run straight through it. UAE number 11, Jade Cunningham, for her first try of the tournament.
That's completed.
And that kick is successful. The score now, UAE 31, Mongolia 0. Watch this replay. She saw the gap. It was open for about 2 seconds, and that's all it took for her to waltz straight through it and underneath the post. Good try from Cunningham. Mongolia there with another error, another knock on. Scrum now for UAE. 30 meters out from the Mongolia line. But Mongolia win the scrum, and it's a penalty to Mongolia. This is a good outcome for Mongolia. Now what can they do? Deep in their own half, using the ball, spreading it out. Now straightening up. But it's Tara Cooney, she's everywhere this afternoon. Mongolia trying to use the ball, trying to spread it out wide, but the good defense from UAE is everywhere. Good work, strong work there from Mongolia. Pick and go. Mongolia still with the ball. Can they get some points in this game? Mongolia still with the ball, straightening up. UAE not rolling away, says the referee. Not long in the game now, only seconds away. UAE still 31-0, and she's been tackled into touch. And that is the final whistle. UAE coming out victors over Mongolia, 31-0. Next up, we have the men's pool, and we have the host country, Indonesia, for their second game of this tournament. They won their first game this morning against Brunei, and now they will be up against the might of Singapore. An exciting game coming up. Should be a good game, that one. Indonesia versus Singapore coming up next.
That was fucking hard work then.
Yang gitu dik. Santai, masih 4 menit lagi. Ayo santai. Take a deep breath, ayo.